What's up guys, it's Linear Fan of Stuff 2, and today I just wanted to make a quick 3 to 4 minute video just talking about the new Control Warlock deck that I've been playing, and I've been having quite a bit of success with. I got to rank 5 with it, and now I'm having a little trouble because of, personal mistakes and stuff, a few techs in the deck that maybe could change still, but the deck itself and the way the deck plays and what the deck does is still tried and true and very powerful and very strong of a deck. So let's start off with just the beginning, and I'll explain through most of my choices and just what the deck does in general. So we are running a lot of burst healing here, a lot of burst healing, big taunts, lots of just survival, just ability to survive and value out a lot. So basically we have the standard early game for most Warlocks, which is the double Librarian, double Mixtures. We got the files for board clear, Doomsayers, Golakka versus Aggro, Gluttonous Ooze versus weapons, like just all the standard board clear stuff. Double Dark Pact for burst healing. You can combo Mixtures with Dark Pact for a burst of 12 healing, which is more than enough to survive pretty much any damage. It makes you survive double Fireball because you're always at more than 1 health or you're dead, and then Dark Pact, Mistress of Mixtures is 12 health, which is double Fireball. That's a lot of health. That's more than Healbot, which is insane amounts of health. We have double Tar Creeper for stalling, Hellfire, the double Lesser Amethyst spell. We only play 3 cards that damage us personally, so that we don't have many ways to tick Amethyst spell, but we typically gonna have them at around 3 to 5 damage, which is typically more than enough value for a 4-cost spell. 4-cost 5 damage removal, and then heal for 5 is a lot of value, which is typically enough to clear minions, to do a lot of stuff. So this card has gained well past more than enough value in this deck with not too many ticks. Plus the fact that Librarian, if you draw a Lesser Amethyst spell off a Librarian, it still ticks it because of the fact that the damage happens after you draw a card. Anyways, next we run shadowflame just because I love shadowflame and I'm running double giant, so I like playing shadowflame. This is one of the cards you can change for something else to maybe make the deck a little more consistent, a little more, a little better in its regards. This is one of the cards that I personally like, which is the reason why I play it. And this is the main crux of the decks, the next part I'm going to talk about, which is the double Despicable Dreadlord, double Voidlord, 1 Lackey. This is the main portion of the deck that's the most important thing that the deck has to offer. So why are we playing only 4 demons in a greedy control demon lock deck? Well, it's because these are the 4 best demons, in my opinion. These demons do the most for what they are, and they're the best demons to not only pull from your deck, but also to summon from your hand. They have the best overall synergy. So for example, if I drop Possessed Lackey and I pull a Dreadlord out the deck, that's good value. That's about 5 mana. It's about 4. I'm pulling a Dreadlord for a little bit less than its mana cost because I had the 2/2 body, and not only that, but the Dreadlord's getting its effect on the end phase to deal 1 damage to all enemies. Or if I pull Voidlord, I'm getting a fuck ton of value, right? That's pretty much it. If you pull the 6/6 demon, well, you're getting kind of 6/6 in stats, but it doesn't affect the board, and your opponent's not really pressured to take it out. If you get a Doom Guard, but if you draw it, then it's like it kind of fucks your hand really hard because now it's a dead card, and it just, other demons don't do as much. If you're on the Homunculi card, you don't draw it early and you pull it off of Lackey, a 2/4 taunt doesn't really help you too much. Or if you're running other demons that are early game, like, this is why these demons that I ran are my favorite for what they do, because I think they do the best job for what they're supposed to do. They have the most board pressure, and they have the most survivability out of any other demon card if they're pulled from the deck or put from your hand. Also, because of the fact that we're only running 4 demons, 80% of the time we can be pretty sure what we're going to get, and we can kind of play the game to where if we pull Dreadlord, we have a way to play it, and if we pull Voidlord, we have another way to play the game, essentially. So we're not fucked. Like, let's say we need Dreadlord or Voidlord, and then we pull another demon, and it's like, well, I guess we're dead, right? We know what we're going to pull most of the time, and we can play around that, which is really nice, because knowing what's going to happen in the future for card games is always better than not knowing what's going to happen and playing based off some random thing happening. Anyways, that's the main crux of the deck. I like that the most. I think this is the most consistent thing. It works best with Gul'dan and N'Zoth, because Gul'dan summons all your demons that die. So if you double up on Voidlord, that's, what is that, 2? That's 8 demons that died. So if you have other demons, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be pretty luck based for you to pull a Voidlord from your stack of demons that died. If you only have Voidlords and Walker and maybe like 2 Voidlords and a Dreadlord that died, plus all the Walkers, there's a pretty good chance you're going to pull a Voidlord out of that pile of dead cards, rather than if you ran double Voidlord, 2 Dreadlords, you had the Walkers, plus you have the Homunculi, and you have some other tech card that you're running, right? So Gul'dan's going to more often than not get you another Voidlord back, and because Gul'dan's going to get you another Voidlord back, N'Zoth has that extra Death Rattle minion, which is a 3rd Voidlord which is going to get back, and that's basically the point of this deck, is to abuse Voidlord, because I think Voidlord is a broken card, and it is, and it just destroys aggro decks, so being able to abuse it is really good. You could run Master O card. I think it's pretty sacky. I don't run it too often. It's a really strong card. It sacks pretty hard, but by the time you get to turn 9, typically you're going to have already won the game. O-Cart could just straight up win you the game sometimes, which is really nice. I've always been testing with O-Cart, without O-Cart, and I always have mixed results because I'm not 100% sure if it's the best option. Then we run 1 Rin, because Rin is just a win condition on her own. Like, she just gets you the card in her hand that gives you sort of infinite value to keep summoning demons, and then on top of that, if you get a Xari and you get to pop cards from the deck, well, you put them into fatigue right away, which is really nice. Also, it auto wins versus some decks, like versus Dead Man's Hand. It's really good because it just pops their board, right? Then the rest of the cards are pretty self-explanatory. Double Giant, because you have a lot of cards in your hand, plus I'm running the Shadowflame, so typically you're going to be able to drop Giants for low cost. You have Twisting Nether because it clears the board. Doomsayers, you know, they clear the board with Twisting Nether, guarantee you board clear. Board pressure. So basically the point of this deck is just to always have the board later on in the game, and to out-heal your opponent, to just drain your opponent of all resources, because they can't run by your minions because you have too many taunts. You have so much healing that they can't burst you down from the face, and you have big minions that are going to take up their spells, right? For early game you have pressure still if they're playing a control deck, because you could just drop like a giant on them, right? So this is essentially the point of the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my deck profile plus explanation. The deck is very strong. I like it a lot. It got me to rank 5. I'm still ranking up with it, still making little tweaks to see what I can do better, what I can use to get even farther in the game. It takes a while to learn because there's a lot of like little niche things that you have to change oftentimes, and depending on the matchup, sometimes your mulligans are very, very important. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.